welcome to Racers United. Tier 2 pre-season test and another follow.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Darkness, for the vote. But yes, we've had a bit of some technical issues. Let me show you this real quick. There, see, look, it's not letting me invite anyone to it. We're put together. We're trying to invite people into the lobby now. There should be a couple more people joining before we start the lobby. And hopefully it is fixed for the main race on Monday. But obviously Tier 1 is also on Saturday, so hopefully it's fixed for then. We just need Omega, Banksix, Opa, and Skirl in the lobby. I don't think Skirl is alive at the moment. He's not been online all day. So I feel like we're going to have 13 drivers for the start of this pre-season race. It's going to be around Brazil, 25% race with 15 or 18 minute quali, whatever. Oh no, that's his one-shot quali. It's meant to be short quali. There we go. That's fixed. Yes. And that will obviously just get the drivers used to each other's racing. Opa and Omega should be in. And Banksix is also joined. I need to just message in the thing real quick. Okay. Okay, so 25% race, so just keep it nice and clean. I mean, there's no reason to be dirty anyways. But yeah, just keep it nice and clean. And if you win the race or come in the top 3, stay in your team VCs and we will drag you down to the cooldown room where you can just discuss the race with the podium sitters. And if you want an interview after the race, stay in your team VC. Apart from that, have fun, enjoy the race.
Cheers.
Okay, right. That is everything set up. We can now proceed into the intro. Hello everyone and welcome to the pre-season test in Brazil. We're going to be racing around one of the most iconic F1 circuits to be on the calendar for the 2023 season. So let's go on to the track map now. We can see there's 15 turns. I'm pretty sure it's 9 to the left and 6 to the right. It's one of the only anti-clockwise circuits on the track, featuring a lot of high-speed overtakes where you can, there's plenty of overtaking opportunities into turn 1. Now, don't be deceived by the track map because, oh, actually, the aerials. Oh, no. No, that was not going to happen. Okay, don't be deceived by the visuals, which you see, because it is, in fact, raining on the circuit. We've got 13 people with us, so it's going to be short qualifying, followed by the 25% race. We're going to see who goes out on track first. It is intermediate conditions. Thank God it's not the full west, or else we'll see barely any times at all. So, we need to see if we can invite people now. And in fact, the game is still broken. Anyways, we'll see people now leaving the pits. I believe that is the Haas of Demi. That's what we're going to call them. And it's good to know that the telemetry is on board and working with us today. There's people who got disconnected, but I can't do anything about that, even if I wanted to, because of the game's lovely bug. But here we go, you can see it's semi-tunk, and it's good to know that most of the drivers on track today have their driver numbers input on the game, and it allows for telemetry like this to work for us. And see Banksick, yeah, in the pits. Zion Flicks in the pits. But anyways, let's go to the oh no, it's Roman Wayne who we're going to be spectating for the first lap of the session and be kicking off Racers United Tier 2 for us. This was actually only formulated a couple last week, and we're filled up in a matter of 2 days. It's good to see everyone out on track and getting the runs which they so desperately wanted. Anyways, here we go for the first lap with Roman. I believe he has featured in Tier 1 potentially on Saturday, but he's definitely a Tier 1 reserve driver for the Haas team. And here we go, we'll see him now opening where the DRS will be if it continues to get dry for the race, and it's a purple sector 1 of an 18.5. Obviously, you'd expect it to be a lot less considering lap times are very, very slow. I mean, not very, very slow. Very, very short around here. Oh, there's a spin from, I believe that's Opa. Going on to the first non-DRS straight. And here we go. Hitting the apex nice and lovely there. Needs to maximize the exit. Keeps it tight to the left. And on the white line, gets a decent exit. You've got to stick to the dry line here, as the car might be prone to aquaplane and he misses the apex there. He might want to back out the lap, but it is only going to be a bank lap. So you might just want to get all the time you can out of it. But this is probably one of the shortest laps of the calendar. And some might be thinking, why start off the season in Brazil? Well, we decided to mix things up a little bit to what we have normally done for the past 2 seasons in Tier 1 and just randomize a grid. And obviously it's going to be a shorter calendar to prepare us for Season 2 in F1 23. And it's a 1:15.8 for Roman there, as we're going to see Gardino get a 17.6, and Sem gets 15.7, a tenth ahead of Roman, his Haas teammate. What a lovely start for the Haasses. Obviously, not many other people are out on track at the moment. Darkness, we've seen him prominently feature in Tier 1 in Baku. Yeah, qualified P2. Definitely a very good qualifier. Didn't make up for it much in the race, though. And here we go. He's in Sector 2 now. We're going to carry on with his lap. It's only a green, purple sector. Oh, no, it's only a green Sector 1 for him. He now round to the end of Sector 2. Is this track drying out, though? That's what everyone wants to know. And he is 1.1 seconds down on Semi's time there. Ah, no. His spin's coming out the final corner. And hits 2 advertisement boards on his way of doing so. Let's have a look at the weather anyways. Oh, it's going to get stormy weather from the end of this qualifying session, so everyone will be looking to get their lap times as soon as possible, because these track conditions will not be improving for the entirety of quali. Here we go, Lucas Giles, the Tier 1 reserve, definitely proved himself worthy. He just couldn't attend the Saturday times. Monday is a perfect time for him. It's obviously it's actually, oh no, Lucas Giles also spins out. It's also important to note that these tiers are not really based on pace, it's just based on drivers' availability when they can actually drive. Anyways, Lucas Giles, is he gonna start another lap? I don't even know if he was on a lap. Let's have a look. As the Red Bull main driver crosses the line, will he go on the second lap? It looks like he's going for it. Wouldn't have had much time to charge up that ERS, but the tyres would be in a nice toasty place for him. Oh no, he gets a bit squirrely, exiting the fast left-hander there. And the tyres might still just be a bit dirty from when he took a trip on the grass. That is Lucas Giles. Good driver overall. And might see him feature on Saturday if there is space. His Tier 1 for Saturday though is looking very, very tasty. 27 drivers signed up for that race. And Darkness sets a 14.9, severely improving on the time which he was setting a few moments ago. And is Sem, let's have a look for him, as he finishes Sector 2 now. Will he get a tow from the Alfa Romeo as he goes down the main straight? Gets a bit slidey there, that'll affect his top speed. But now, going down the main straight, the Alfa Romeo looks to be giving him a bit of the tow, even if he doesn't intend for it. And there we go, he goes into the pit lane. Opa. Let's watch him as he now goes into the pits also. It was Freddy who is beginning his lap. Let's have a look. And surprisingly, that was not an invalidation. It was a very, very solid interpretation of track limits. Dryden game crashed and needs to wait until the session the inviters can invite him, and once again doesn't invalidate there. Keeping it nice and off the track. Here we go now to the right-hander for Freddy. Oh, has to lift off the front just a little bit there. Would have ran very wide if he didn't do that. Here we go. He's only 4 times off in Sector 1. This could be a worthy competitor for P2 potentially. It all depends what he can produce in Sector 2 and Sector 3 though. And once again, very abuses of the track limiter. Must have found a sweet spot when he was practicing. And here we go, he's definitely a lot more off in Sector 2 there, 2 seconds off. And now we'll see him potentially drop down into the 117s and put him in P5. Now, down the main straight, going as left of the track as possible. Oh no, he goes to the right, and it's going to be a 117.8 for Freddy, and that puts him into P7. Let's have a look at Lucas Giles. I believe he's just starting his lap now. Yeah, obviously messed up his first lap, and for his second lap, it's going to be a 1:16 flat. That's a beautiful time to see. Same with a 1:15.7 flat. But only puts him in P4, and it'll be good to only be 1,000th off the 115s. Obviously, this is not the quality which everyone wanted to see, and providing it is dry in the race, it will most certainly be people on dry setups in the wet, or just in the pot which you can change in Parc Fermé. And Darkness now coming into the pit lane. Roman Wayne, is he going to begin his lap? He is. So here we go. Roman Wayne crosses the start-finish straight. And now into turn 1. Sets himself up nicely for turn 2 and turn 3. It's obviously a fast left-hander. Sometimes you might have to lift through there depending on how hot the tyres are, or as it could spin that car around. Anyways, he's 11 thousandths up on Freddy's time. Oh no, Freddy behind him might have just set a better sector 1. He's 600ths off the purple sector 1, but there's still 1100ths, not 1100ths, 100th up on Darkness up in P1. Here we go. Through sector 2 now, he's going to be sweating just that little bit. Wanting to get all the pace out of that car as possible, as he's on his second run now. He's got 9 times to make up in the lap. But as we've just seen there, he's made mass improvements on Roman. And now, coming to the end of sector 2, what's it going to be for the Haas driver? It's going to be 3 tenths off, coming nowhere close at the moment. Unless he has top straight line speed, he can go down the main straight and get as much straight line speed as he would need to recover up to a potential P1, definitely P2. As he crosses the finish line, it's going to be a 1:15.4, 5 tenths off of the Williams driver, and that will see him in to P2. It's not Q1, 2Q, 2-3 format for this game, or for this tier, even. And now in the slipstream of the McLaren driver, beautiful slipstream, is going to see him set a 1:15.1, still not enough to challenge the Williams driver. And now going into turn 1, I'd think Jack Kraft, or no, this is Stanny, even in P7, and if I'm correct, is not using the right number. I'm gonna have a check. Let's have a look. But yeah, this is not Jack Kraft, this is Stanny. Oh, he is using the number 69. Oh, yeah, he is using the number 69. That is Jack Kraft's number. Let's ask about that potentially. Wow. Oh, do. Okay, here we go. We will not be able to watch his lap for the reason of the telemetry issues. Anyways, now going on to his next flying lap, or actually could be just rounding off his flying lap. We'll see Omega here. Is he? I think he is finishing the flying lap. It's going to be a 1:18.3 for the McLaren driver, and is unable to reach the top 10. But as the way I think it's going at the moment, the track is just degrading more and more, so getting that lap time in early was definitely crucial. The driver's on track at the moment, which means Darkness definitely could have found a sweet spot there. We need Dryzen to get an invite to the lobby, but you see, the thing is, my game's kind of broke, which is always lovely to see. EA, thank you for this, by the way. You know, just ruins it all. And Darkness sets a 14-3. I'm sorry we didn't see that. EA just messing everyone over. And 8 tenths ahead of a semi now. And he is just proving there is definitely still a lot of time to be made on the track for any other driver. And Semi is on a lap at the moment, I think. He is down in sector 1 on his personal best time. And nah, he is on an outlap. Indefinitely, there's a massive queue for the outlap though, which could mean there could be some holding up during the lap, which might be why he's letting everyone pass now rather than later. And here we go. He is going to begin his first flying lap of the session. Oh, not his first. His third flying lap of the session, and oh no, he's going into the pit lane. Okay, we're going to watch Lucas Giles then, who set a 16 lap before, and is the differentiating between the 16 and the 15. So yeah, 16 in the 15s. Here we go. In Sector 1, Lucas Giles. We didn't get to see the start to his lap there. Is it going to be competitive? It's going to be 2 temps off of Zion, which is definitely competitive, to put himself up there into P2. If he can carry on this throughout the lap. Here we go. You can see the dry line sort of, or the line which the drivers should be taking. It's definitely not dry out on track, and I don't think it will dry out on track. Here we go. Make some minor corrections going through there. Keeps it nice and tight with the apex. So, and going through the left-hander. It's a very long grilling left-hander. And now braking for the next turn. It's a bit uphill, downhill, then uphill. So you've got to get the camber perfectly set up for that. And get on the throttle nice and early. And here we go. It's going to be 1.1 seconds off in Sector 2. And oh, that's a terrible exit. That will set him up very poorly. Doesn't improve on the Sector 2 time. And might consider boxing for the end of his session. And yes, he does come into the pit lane. Doesn't think he can improve anymore. And here we go. Roman on his second or third hot lap is up on his Sector 1 time, which can compete him for P2 possibly. It depends how close he was to P1. Not P1. Oh no, he went off track there. That is definitely his lap over with. In the lobby, you might have to wait until the race. I might just let you race him, but that will see Dryzen out of the session. Rove getting ready for his first flying lap. I don't know if we'll be able to watch that because we have Gardino, who is just starting his lap. That is Husky Games. That's Gardino. And there's 2 Huskies in the AlphaTauri teams. One is in Tier 2 and one is in Tier 1. Do not be fooled. And here we go. He's 7 temps down in Sector 1, and that might be his lap just over. But look at them in the leaderboard. There you go. You can see, obviously, Jack Crafter is not in P8. It is Stanny. And that is unfortunate that the driver number was not set up. Impulsive. Get ready for his, I believe, second flying lap. And now Rove starting his hot lap. I know someone might not be able to see it, but it turns out we can. And here we go, Rove then into turn 1. Oh, has to make a little correction there, but doesn't hit the apex. Gets a nice exit for turn 2 though, and now for turn 3. Just need to open up his steering and get that car to the side. There we go. So you love to see from the Williams driver, and he's only 3 temps down in Sector 1, which is quite promising for him. He is fairly new to the game. Now, here we go. Going through Sector 2. Got to get a bit of a speedway here before braking and going into the right hand. I might have broke a bit too much there, but you never know because it is in the rain. Everyone has their own lines, and ultimately it comes down to driver skill in the rain and not car performance. But it is equal cars, so it always comes down to driver performance. I'm talking about real life here. See who he is competing with on track at the moment, and he'll be starting alongside in the race if he doesn't manage to improve his lap. And there is yellow flags in Sector 2, might just be letting people past. There's only a minute left of this qualifying session. This qualifying session has flew by. And here we go. He might be giving his Williams teammate a little tour down the main straight. One might be starting a lap, one might be finishing the lap, and here we go. They're going to finish side by side their laps. And Rove goes up into P11 for 1:17.7, and that might have set up Darkness perfectly to the start of his flying lap. Looking to improve once again, just showing off at this point. Nobody's really coming close to the time just yet. The 2 Hasses are on out laps and hot laps, and there we go. 700 up in Sector 1. All the time is to gain, and the AlphaTauri going slow. Get ready for his final flying lap of the session. He has to make this lap work, or else he will not be able to get out on track again. And nearly there. Taking the curb in the wet is definitely very, very fatal, considering in the dries most of the time it will just chuck you off. Really depends on what assist you've got enabled. I mean, if you lock up on the brakes on the curb, you just literally just discard you off. But anyways, Sector 2 is going to be 2 temps up. He could be up for a 1:13 as he rounds the final corner. The session's over. Stanley Opa Galdino and Dryzen aren't able to set laps. Dryzen was stuck in the pits for some reason. But here we go. Darkness finishing his lap, rounding the stopping straight, and it's a 1:14.1 for the Williams driver, and the Haas is only able to get 3 temps off with a 1:14.5, and Roman wins. Roman wins. Now we're coming through sector 2. He was down on the sector 1 time. What can he do in sector 2? It's going to be 1.1 down. I don't think he's going to be able to improve on that lap. Sector 1 was just too detrimental to him. And Omega. Oh no, he spins. Tragic. And now, crossing the finish line will not improve on his lap. And it's going to be a 1:15.5. So a pretty anticlimactic end there. As we see, everyone just finishing their laps now. And that was a very late cut into the pit lane for Omega. Definitely is not allowed in the main race. Obviously, this is just a session for everyone to get used to each other. And here we go. Just needs to wait for him to retire, and the session will be over and done with. There we go. You can see Roman went on 4 laps there and was unable to improve on his final lap. Was that track ever going to dry out? It was not. It was just going to get worse. But we knew that. There we go. And yeah, the two Haas's have definitely made a lasting impression so far, showing themselves very worthy, but are unable to beat Darkness in the Williams. Darkness and Semi are in a league of their own at the moment. They are 9 tenths, well, P2 is 9 tenths ahead of P3, and P3 is 1.2 seconds behind of P1. So it's going to be an interesting race for the top 2 here. We obviously don't know if it's going to rain in the race yet or not. That is definitely something we get as a surprise as the spectators here. We do not get the weather forecast, which is pretty dumb in my opinion. Here we go. The session ends in dos, uno, zero. Oh, look how dry it looks. This is what we would love to see in the race. Oh my god, it's an even wetter race. This is going to be absolute carnage. It is full wet conditions for the main race. What are we seeing here? This is the first time we've had a wet race in a Racers United season on the F1 22 game for Racers United. It's the first time we're going to see a wet race. And besides that, it is a very, very wet race. It's going to be full wet conditions. It's going to be very, very fun. Everyone just needs to keep it nice and tidy as we go through turn 1, and the track gets defined. But here we go. 5 red lights. And it's lights out. Oh no. It's lights out, and away we go for the wet Brazilian GP. And the Haas get a really good start as the charge down into turn 1. Roman Wayne challenging for P1 is unable to fight off Darkness, and surprisingly no one has spun out. What a start it's been. Darkness maintaining his P1. The Haas goes off the track and comes in just behind of his teammate in P2, and Garaldino and Freddie might have had a collision there, running now at the back. The McLaren looking to get the move done, or potentially defending from Opa, gets overtook by Lucas Giles and runs off the track. That was a Haas once again off the track. Full wet conditions. What a start. It has been surprisingly nobody off the track yet. As in terms of spinning, as Opa goes round the outside trying to look for the move, and Sandy is just unable to in the no grip conditions. Sticking to the racing line here will probably be key to surviving in this race. And here you go, you can see the predicted pit stop strategy. Obviously no driver has to pit in the race, and Freddie and Gardino going for the battle there, nearly touching each other, and Freddie cuts across and takes the position off of him. Great stuff here, as Darkness has already pulled out of a second. He is definitely a master in the wet so far. You can see the butterfly wheel from the Williams driver there. And now Semi going for a move on his teammate. He's got the better exit. He's got the more straight line speed. And is just able to swoop past, I think, without any troubles from Roman. And full call up ahead. No challenges from him. And Orpa might be looking for the move on Stanny. Stanny gives him the racing line as he goes defensive round the inside and is unable to do anything. And Sem get a 3-second tap. Oh no, Errol spins off. He's going to have to maneuver his way back on track. And I think he got beached there, so it is always allowed. And Galdino also spins, putting him in P13. Errol in P9. I'm not too sure what happened to him because the telemetry is messed up for him. Anyways, it's been a good start for Drives, and he's started P13 in P8 now. Definitely someone to look out for. Wasn't able to set his lap in quali because the game, obviously being the game, decides it loves to be Bugmasters once again. Lucas Giles running in P5, I believe he qualified there, and just is getting that grip until the exit where he might went a bit too ambitious on the throttle and is unable to go full throttle through there and has lost a bit of time to bank 6. And the overtake has been done on Freddy and Errol. Rolo now running in P10, nearly spins on the exit there, and Freddy going defensive. Probably didn't need to there, but still does. Darkness for 120, pulled out 2 seconds now. He has managed to maintain P1 off the start, and you've got to commend him for that. It definitely was a chaotic start, but not as chaotic as we've seen in previous races in Racers United, and especially in the full wet. But give a bravo to everyone on the grid today. Stanny getting the straight line speed on Lucas Giles, unable to make the move and just has to stay behind, looking to get a better exit, and it looks like he did there. He's now on the tail of Lucas Giles once again. Will just have to stay behind that one. Oh no, Orpa spins out. Unfortunate for him, he was running in P7 and now down into P9. Oh no, the Williams of Robert Errol might have had a little collision there as they both were spun now. Maybe the game did just bug there because they are both on track as if nothing ever happened. You've also got to remember that Bugmasters does like to produce the most buggy games you've ever seen. So don't be deceived if someone does spin off and they magically reappear on track. This is something we're learning. Whenever Codemasters fix something, it just decides to bring another bug along with it. Doesn't seem to get anything right. And Stanley, we've seen him with a bit more straight line speed. Or maybe he just gets better exits because of his downforce. But yeah, Lucas Giles is pulling away a bit now. So it could be down to straight line speed, and that's why he's gaining so much in the corners as Semi gets the fastest lap there. Might be getting his chase down to Darkness. You've got to remember though, he does have a 3-second time penalty, and that will drop him down into P3 if he does not pull out 3 seconds at the end of the race. The pack's pretty split at the moment. Obviously in the full wet conditions, it's not really a haven for overtaking, but still the opportunity comes around every once in a while. And Orpa, you can see he has definitely more straight line speed compared to his teammate Freddy, and got a better exit there and nearly spins out, touches the grass. He's gonna have to get the dirt off those tires or else he'll have absolutely no grip. But Darkness, here you go, he's your leader. He's been proven a worthy competitor in Tier 1. Tier 2 though was just nice and open when he was first joined the league. Here we can see Demi is sort of catching up to him, but we're going to see as they both cross the finish line now that Darkness has gained a mad amount of time on this lap here, and Orpa and Freddy fighting there for the position. We're going to have a look at that side by side. Orpa has to back out, and Darkness once again sets the fastest lap of the race, and it's over a second clear now since we last saw. But here we go, Orpa right on the tail of Freddy, pushes into him a bit and has in fact spun him out. That is two teammates colliding. I wonder where we've seen that before. I think they took out the braking board with them, so anyone running without line is going to be in a bit of a shitter. Anyways, here we go. Rolo and Rove going side by side into turn 1. Rove goes a bit wide, and that's going to allow Rolo to just swoop through there. And Orpa also goes a bit wide. and Errolo is going to try fight him as well. But Rolo gets a bad exit and is now overtaken by both the Alfa Romeos, and they have a little bit of contact there. Might not be full contact, and Freddie holding off the Ferrari of Rolo there is just able to get the overtake, and teammates touch once again, and that brings Errolo and Opa down the park. So Opa and Freddie definitely are not up to the best relationship so far. It could be down to a bit of dirty driving though. It will have to be seen after the race of everyone's point of views on those collisions. As we see Lucas Giles now on the tail of Bank. Danny's dropped way out of 3 seconds now. And Roman actually got the overtake done on Semi in that time and has pulled out of 2.4 seconds. And the Mercedes has jumped into the pits there. Definitely a very last minute decision. Will probably go onto the full wet, surely. Oh, he's going on to the intermediate tyres. He thinks it's time for a switch. But here we go. The rain is definitely going to be easing off the last few laps of this race. It might be an ambitious call, but he thinks it's time to get on those intermediates. As you can see, he slides out the pit lane there. This could be a make or break decision for Bank6, so definitely a very last minute call as we saw. And here we go, exit in the pits now. He's going to just come out in P10 or P11 potentially. Oh no, it comes out in P9. Freddie is going to try and go for the move on him now, and probably will be able to, because Bank will not have the grip just yet, because those wet tyres will probably still be prevailing. And there we go, you can already see Freddie has cleared him without any issues whatsoever. And now the chase for Rove to Bank will probably begin very shortly. And there you go, 3 temps gained in a matter of 1 corner there. And Rove just fighting the car to try and get around there. It does look like Bank has more grip, I can't lie. And those tyres might actually just start coming to life. As you can see, there's a bit of a dry line for them. Could be in the rain. It's definitely easing off. And Errolo spins once again. And is that his wing? I don't think. Matt angry with a follow. And now the pack is just pretty much spread out. So we're going to focus on this battle here. I'm going to focus on Bank6, who went for a very, very ambitious strategy. It could actually go to the intermediate for the end of this race, but will it be worth hitting at that point? Who knows? There's still 11 laps to go for the Brazilian preseason race. And now he runs a bit off track there, and that's going to give Rove a decent run if he can maximize it. Doesn't look like he can though, and it's holding off just a little bit. Just a reminder, you can vote for your driver of the day, raceunited.net/vote. All the drivers are on there, and you can vote for who you think is most deserving of that graphic, or well, that title of driver of the day. There you go, you can see Rove's tyre. It's just starting to come to life a bit more, but you can see that rain is definitely easing off quite a bit. I'm going to see Bank. Oh, Bank might have broke a bit early there, or Rove might have broke a bit late, because that gives Opa the run on him now. The Rove runs a bit wide, but side by side, he's going to get the move done. And we'll not have to worry about him for a while. And Bank6 runs very, very wide there, and that allows Opa to get the better exit and set himself up for the main straight. You can see him sliding a bit on those tyres. Yeah, he's getting mini slides, and that's going to allow Opa to go for a very, very ambitious move into the final corner. And is just going to get that move done. Rove now bringing himself into the action with Bank6. Hasn't done this. Oh, no. And there we go, Bank6 coming into the pit now. Doesn't think those inters are working for him. And that was a beautiful stop to get himself into the pit limit there. Let's see what he pits onto, and then he's pitted onto more inters. So that's a very interesting strategy call for him. He might not be waiting. Actually, it might have been a strategical error. We don't see that from Mercedes. But it can happen, and Errolo now going to lose the position on track re-entry. This game is very mesmerizing right now, because did Rolo spin or did he not? Because you see the TP back onto track. Bugmaster's doing the thing. Darkness at a 199 on those wet tyres. Those are going to be pretty worn in now. 9 laps old. So it could be about time for the switch very shortly. it will definitely be worthwhile for 9 laps. It just depends on how many seconds you can gain per lap. And here we go, teammates fighting. The Haas driver gets a bit slidey on the curve there, goes into a little puddle, and the fight will just have to continue onwards and onwards. But they have not been close to each other for much of this race, and you can see now 8 tenths on his fastest lap there, which is 8 tenths faster. And I'm pretty sure Semi just had a mini slide there once again, and then sets him up poorly. And Gardino into the pit lane, onto the inters. Okay, that is interesting. So everyone thinks that the inters is gonna be the better tyre very shortly, and everyone's gonna be watching on their lap times. There's Banksix and Husky in the AlphaTauri, both on the intermediate tyres. Let's here we go. Once again, round in the final corner. Semi and Roman, the fight continues. Let's see how much he can gain then. We'll have a look at who's got the more straight line speed here. With the slipstream, Semi just has so much more straight line speed, nearly a DRS worth, and Roman allows them to go down the inside there. Might have been a little error, might have thought he was trying to go for the move, and that allows Semi to get straight through, and Roman, already 5 tenths out, will not be able to challenge that whatsoever. And Stanny spins out as an entry to the main straight. Brings him out of the battle with Doc, and he might have disconnected from the session or might have left it. And here we go. Darkness now coming in Sector 2. Going round the very twisty and technical part of the circuit where you actually have to use your steering wheel, surprisingly. Believe it or not. But Roman, out of the second now, will be unable to get an effective slipstream as Oprah and Freddy once again coming to the battle. Let's see, as Oprah definitely gets a better exit to Freddy there, but Freddy's not going to defend that easy. They have collided in the past, and Rolo now in the pit lane. Let's see what tyre he's going to go on to. It's going to be for Rolo. It is the fresh wet. Okay, so he's just doing a normal pit stop. Oh, and he DNF's in the pit lane. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Doesn't think he can get anything more out of the race and decides to just come into the pit lane and retire. Unless the game is being Bugmasters once again and it's gonna send them out on track. Okay, you gotta love Codemasters, I can't lie. Like, Codemasters, what a team. The amount of bugs we've seen so far in the single session shows a lot as Freddy runs wide there and nearly forces his team into the pit lane. And Freddy now has to stay behind and goes very late on the brakes, tries to get the move done on Oprah, and he runs very wide. And Oprah gets the move done. And Freddy, on re-entry, hits into Oprah, which is definitely not what happened, because the game just teleported back on track like nothing happened. What is up with this game? Now, it's easy to 10th off, but that's more than a second off. Okay, I don't think he actually hit into him then. And the Darkness sets another fastest lap of a 1:19.7. But yeah, Codemasters definitely need to fix their game, because Freddy did not hit into the back of Oprah. Yeah, this game is very, very weird. It's like that. And here we go, Roman, 2.5 seconds off his teammate now. The gap has fell. They were very close to each other once again at one point. I think Semi actually managed to get the overtake. And yeah, Roman dropping off. We might see a little spark in performance for the Haas driver once again. It all comes down to when this when his tyres come back into the action. And now Oprah just going to get the move done. And Zanny, who's in AI mode, might have disconnected. If he did disconnect, we're unable to invite him back, because obviously Codemasters is going to Codemaster. And Banksix still running on the intermediates. Hasn't really gained much time whatsoever, and has disconnected from the session, which once again just could be a disconnection in general. The game bugs. And Orpa in the wall. He's not even in the wall. And Freddy in the grass there, which, oh no, Orpa, there we go, he's spun for real now. I think he might have had that bit of a scare with Freddy there, but yeah, it's definitely fairly dodgy today. And Lucas Giles, interestingly, in the pit lane now. Let's see what he's going to put on. It's going to be some fresh wets for him. And here we go. He thinks he does actually have the gap to his teammate, Dr. Dryzen, who's in P5 now. That's a great race story for him. 8 positions gained. He might be your contender. But let me say it. Driver of the day. He could be your driver of the day. Candidate? Yeah, he could be. Just remember, get your vote in. A driver of the day. RacersUnited.net/driver of the day. DOTD. Link will also be in estimation mark DOTD. But yes. Here we go. Lucas Giles actually came out just a second behind of Dr. Dryzen there. But with those fresh wets, we'll definitely be able to make up that time, or at least he hopes he can. And Orpa spins out once again. The second half of this race for him has just went a bit null. And now, going down the second non-DRS straight, is unable to make anything of his race so far. But now we're going to see Lucas Giles and Dr. Eisen getting the battle on. Definitely one of the first times we've seen these two battle, but you can definitely see a lot of teammates battling at the moment. 2-3 for the Haas, 4-5 for the Red Bull, 6-7 for the McLaren, and it could be an 8-10 or an 8-9 for the Alfa Romeos, as Dryzen did just let him pass there. No contest about that. And is now just going to allow Lucas Giles to head off in the distance. Probably is definitely the better team player there for the Red Bull drivers. Because although it's not worth championship points, it's good to get those team dynamics on point. And could actually give Dr. Eisen the slipstream and help pull him along to protect him from the McLaren, who probably doesn't need to be protected from. It's only a 16-second gap. And Orpa, I'm not sure if he spun there, but the white yellow flags where he was. And let's go back to Darkness now, actually. Let's have a look at his behind cam, because Semi is losing time to him every lap, but it been a second gain recently, as yeah, you can sort of see the gap establishing itself there. And maybe my telemetry is right. It could actually be. No, definitely not. Maybe just stick to the game telemetry. That is what I'm getting told here. And Stanley and Freddy going for the battle. Stanley obviously in the I mode and has just shown up Freddy there. But now, on through the left-hander is just gonna get the overtake complete, surely. There we go, yeah. And interestingly, we can see the cracks in between the clouds showing up, which could mean light rain. Yes, the rain is going to be stopping, so it's going to be getting drier on track, but definitely at this point probably is not viable for any type of not viable for any type of dry or wet compound tires to be put on. You can see these two on the inters sort of fighting with each other. Orpa dropped a lot of positions since he oh no, he's bid that once again, and that is going to see him get lapped by the Haas driver, and it's going to come in the pit lane. Let's see what he will put on. Then you can see the BWT, all the advertisement boards which cannot be destroyed. And here we go. The Alfa Romeo driver, what's it going to be? It's going to be intermediate tires for him, so he's going to be trying out something. Might be trying going for the fastest lap, just testing out his pace. But we have not seen a single dry part on track yet. which is always good to see. But we'll see Freddie and the McLaren driver are impulsive, very close to each other, could be going for the battle momentarily. Let's have a look. Oh no, they're both running a bit wide there, but Freddie gets the worst of it. And here we go, there you go, you see Freddie's made some massive gains over the past couple of laps. Oh no, this is the best lap. What was the last lap? Yeah, last lap you can see he still made some massive gains. He dropped off 7 tenths and he probably is going to drop off just a bit more now. And that's actually going to give us a good view on what last lap was for these two. It was 7 tenths slower for Semi, but the gap has sort of stayed the same. So far, we'll have a look at the fastest sector. Zion, more known as Darkness, has dominated Sector 1 and Sector 2, and possibly very close to Sector 3. We'll have a look at their best laps. Yeah, you can definitely see a 41.6 is actually quite a few tenths off of the Haas drivers there, but it's probably still very, very faster overall compared to most of the drivers on track today. And there we go, Galdino in the AlphaTauri getting lapped. And now Dr. Eisen coming in the pit lane. Definitely has a gap to the McLaren driver. Comes out and will stay in P5. Goes onto some fresh wets. He might actually be going for the fastest lap, and there's only 2 laps after this race. And Semi is gained around 5 tenths on this last lap. As Roman out of 12 seconds, very, very far behind now. Definitely unable to compete at all for the P2 unless he spins out, and we shall lose him about 7 or 8 seconds. Possibly more than that in the Bryn, and he gets within 3 seconds on the final lap as Darkness, the one starting it, our race leader today for the practice race or preseason race in Brazil. Finishes Sector 1, doesn't have to negotiate that anymore until Monday. As Impulsive Herbies and Freddie side by side. Herbies gets the run there, and Freddie just trying to go down the inside. Might have been a bit too ambitious there and gets the a bit further ahead. And Impulsive now drops behind, and Opa on the Inters get a 119. Those tyres are definitely better now, but it won't matter for this man here, Darkness. He's about to lap his teammate in P9. But Darkness has done absolutely everything right today. Nobody has been able to stop him whatsoever. Oh no! He might actually be stopped! No! Darkness spins as he goes through the final corner. He's gonna... Oh, he's got us there. Get those tyres nice and cool. And that is a very, very big scare for the Williams driver as he rounds the final corner. He's going to win the Brazil preseason race, but with a very, very big scare at the end. And you can see those Inters are just so much better now. But the Williams driver gets the victory for his team. And Semi, 6 seconds off, very, very scary near the end there, gets the run on his teammate Roman, who was ahead of him at one point. But Darkness, what a race it's been for him. No errors until that final corner. Lucas Giles in one position since the start of this race, potentially on his teammate, coming home to take Red Bull in P4, and his teammate closer behind in P5. There he goes, weaving, he gets the car spun around as he crosses the finish line. Dr. Eisen now round to the final corner. It's gonna take it home in P5, and Freddie, a decent race from him, P6 with Dr. Nissin. A lot of questionable moments from the game itself. Will actually probably finish in P... it's going to be pretty interesting near the end, because Rove now, and Bank 6 even, going to be challenging for that P8 from Freddie. As Freddie with a 3-second time penalty crosses the line, will get overtook by both the McLarens. Will he be overtook by Bank 6 though? Overtakes him, overtakes him as well. That puts him down into P10. P6 to P10 with 3-second time penalty. That was pretty tight at the end from them. And yeah, drives him P13 to P5. A very decent performance from him, and that gives him driver of the day. And here we go now. We're going to see our main man on the top spot for the podium for the first time in tier 2. It's the main man, Darkness, striding up in a Haas sandwich. And the track is actually dried out at this point now. And here we go. Here's your first tier 2 winner. Obviously, this isn't a championship race, but he's definitely proven himself as a worthy competitor in the rain. Here we go. Get the champagne out. There's the Haas drivers now squirting on the Williams. Definitely seen this in other places before. And quite questionable, to say the least. But anyways, what a race they have put on today. It's the... just get the graphics there. And once again, a reminder to vote for your driver of the day at racersunited.net/vote. They will determine who gets driver of the day today. It would probably be Dryden, who made a great comeback race, considering the position he was in. Anyways, let's go down to the cooldown room. Let's see if our drivers have stopped in their BCs. I'm going to see if they're ready for the first cooldown room of the session, or the season even. So it is Williams driver. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Get more to join their team VCs, and hopefully we'll get them in the cooldown room. Obviously, if they do not, then it's, you know, cool. I want these people to join their driver VC, so they are talking in the thing and just like not joining the VC. Oh, okay, they've joined the team VC. Right, one's joined the team VC. I'll bring him down into the cooldown room. Second person to join is nobody yet. Give us 1 second, trying to get all the drivers in very momentarily. The oh, okay, right. Well, I pulled one in and then they left. There we go. Okay, they should all be joining now. And here we go, okay. Zion, okay. These keep joining the TVC once again. We're going to just pull them in the cooldown room. And let's just hope that they bing it. There we go. And then finally pull Semi in. And... oh my, no. I pulled them all in, then won them. I'm going to join this on mute. Oh, it keeps disconnecting and that's definitely... Okay, you know what? We're going to have to scrap the cooldown room for today because nobody wants to talk. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, we're going to go straight to the end and stream then. Remember, you can join us on Saturday. That's next week. Not next week, it's this week. So you can join us on Saturday at 7 PM for Tier 1 and... Monday at 10 PM for Tier 2. That is going to be all though from this stream. We saw 2 wet sessions of qualifying in the wet and race in the wet. Hopefully we don't see that on Monday because it was definitely a race lacking overtakes on a track where you can overtake quite a lot. Anyways, we'll see you on Saturday for Tier 1. Have a good day and also